Hey everyone. In this video, I want to talk to you about the magic of not identifying with your emotions. So, what do I mean by this? Well, a lot of our problems arise from us identifying with our emotions. We believe that we are angry people because we feel angry at times, or we believe that we are a depressed person because we occasionally feel depressed. Yet, the thing is, emotions don't have any power over you until you start identifying with them. So, what I mean by that is, if you do get angry, and maybe you even say angrier than most people do, once you start calling yourself an angry person and identifying with that emotion of anger, now it has power over you. Now you're labeled and defined by it, whereas before, it didn't have any power over you. If you realize that you can feel angry without being an angry person, then it just means that you occasionally feel the emotion of anger. And that's that. It doesn't mean that you're an angry person, which almost kind of gives that emotion permanence over you. It almost kind of gives it mastery over you. You see what I mean? So, I realized this a while back and thankfully started implementing it in my own life, and I can tell you, it makes things a lot better, because I'm sure some of you saw a few videos ago, the one where I was talking about being lonely. In that video, I merely recognized that I was feeling lonely around the time I filmed it, but I didn't identify with the loneliness. I didn't think that it automatically made me a lonely person or that sort of thing. I knew that it was temporary, and because of that, it passed. Like, I don't feel lonely anymore. So that's what I mean. When you don't identify with your emotions, they don't have power over you. And with that, they don't really stay and they don't master you. So I've actually grown up with a friend of mine who proclaimed himself as having anger issues. And there are some people who are going to be more prone to anger than others, and it may just be something with genetics and maybe the way the brain is wired. But I did notice that the more he identified with that side of him, the more it had control over him. And I believe that when you start turning away from that and rejecting that mentality, it no longer has as much control over you. So even if you are the kind of person who gets angry more than most people do, don't identify with the anger. Know that it's just a temporary thing that you feel, and that with enough practice, you can control it better. But as soon as you start labeling yourself as an angry person, it becomes a lot harder to control it, because now you're giving it power over you, and you're almost kind of submitting to it in a way. Like, a lot of people, when they identify with an emotion, they feel like they no longer have the power to control it and change it. And once they do that, they're pretty much giving up and letting that emotion control them. Because then they won't even think or even believe that it's possible to let go of that emotion and let go of the power it has over them. So, learning not to identify with your emotions is powerful. And the way to do that is to literally just start realizing that they're temporary. All of your emotions are temporary. Every single one of them. The good and the bad and everything in between. All of it is temporary. It's merely a way of identifying the way we feel in the moment. And then it goes away with time. But once you start identifying with it, they linger, because you're giving up your power to them, and you're giving up your ability to control them and to let them go. So I urge you to start practicing not identifying with your emotions. Don't call yourself an angry person. Don't call yourself a sad person. Don't call yourself anything else. Just realize that you're a person who feels emotions. So instead of saying I am an angry person, say I feel angry sometimes. There's a huge difference between those two. And in the second one, you'll realize that you'll start feeling a lot better in the long run, because Now your emotions are temporary, and you keep reinforcing that whenever they come up by telling yourself that you're merely feeling them, but that they aren't actually you. They don't make up you. They're just something you feel. But anyway, I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci.